Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to learn how to use iron-on vinyl using Cricut Joy. The materials used are my Cricut Joy, the 6.5 by 4.5 inch standard grip mat, the weeding tool, and the t-shirt you're going to use, or any material that is fabric, made of fabric, and scale to measure the size of the design. And I'm using a brayer tool to make sure that my iron-on vinyl is adhered well to my mat. And then I'm using the Cricut's smart iron-on sampler kit, and then I'm also using Cricut's easy press mini. Now I'm just going into my design space software, and I've already made up the design that I want to add on to the t-shirt. That is, this is my crafting t-shirt, is the words that I'm going to iron on the t-shirt. So I've taken the design from design space itself, since we can use the designs on design space software if you have Cricut Access subscription, right? So you could take whatever designs that you want, type in the search bar and add it to canvas. I'm just making a quick edit to the design because I want to club two different designs together. So I'm just adding the two designs that I want to club together, and I'm going into the contour tool, and I'm taking the elements that I need only. That is, I need only this paintbrush from this design, and I am removing the buttons from the top design, and I'm adding those stars from the bottom design. So I'm just making very small tweaks and stuff to add to my design so that I like it better. So I'm just duplicating the brush design again. So I want to just take those star designs from that particular image. The images used are already from Cricut Design Space only, and the numbers of the images will be mentioned in the description box. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button. So we are almost around 2000 subscribers at the moment, so keep following and do comment and let me know if you have any questions regarding this particular project as well. So I'm just making a small change to the size. I wanted the height to be around 4.2 inches. That is the maximum height I could cut with my Cricut Joy. So I am just making those small tweaks and changes. So that is the design that we have made, right? So this is how you edit any design that is available on Cricut Design Space. And then I'm just hitting the save button quickly, and once I'm done, I'm just making sure that the size that I've taken for the design fits into the t-shirt that I'm going to be ironing this design on. So I'm just quickly taking the scale to measure out the width and the height of the actual design that I've already entered in the design space, and to see if at all I like the sizing and everything and where it will sit and all of that, right? So now I'm just taking the iron on. So iron on will be one side shiny and other side will be matte. So always put your shiny side down and the matte side up. So the matte side is where the non-glossy side, that is, the non-glossy side is where the machine will cut out the design in. So I'm taking a black color vinyl and I'm using it on my 4.5 by 6.5 inch standard grip mat, and just using the brayer tool to make sure that the vinyl is adhered well to the mat. So the stickiness of the mat always plays a vital role. So in the machine setting, I'm selecting the Cricut Joy, and then on mat I am selecting the size of the mat that I'm using, and then I have to always mirror it on. So whenever you're using an iron-on design, always make sure to turn the mirror on. We are cutting on the wrong side of the mat. So that is how you, wrong side of the material, sorry. So that is how you always cut an iron-on, right? So as soon as I done selecting the mirror, now I'm just connecting it to my machine, connecting my device to my machine using Bluetooth setting, and then in the cut setting, I'm selecting smart iron-on matteless vinyl, heat transfer vinyl, right? So that is the setting that I'm selecting because that is the material from Cricut that I am using. And then always make sure the mirror is turned on. There will be a red marking warning asking you to make sure the mirror is turned on automatically. So now what I am going to do is I'm just loading my mat into the machine, and once it's done loading, on your screen itself there will be a button to press go. So as soon as you press go, your machine will start cutting out the design that you want. So in the meantime, I would like to mention about my basics of Cricut Joy workshop. So if you are new to your Cricut Joy machine, and if you are looking for someone to teach you how to use your machine to its fullest extent, or if you're struggling with cutting a vinyl for your resin art or any material that you might need, please DM me on Instagram at uniqueart101. It will be at unique_art_101 and then an underscore. I'll just drop it on the screen as you could see. So this is where you could DM me and message me to know more details about the workshop that I just mentioned. So if at all you are new to your Cricut Joy, if you're struggling finding your grip around design space and everything, I do take basics on a group sessions as well as on a one-to-one session. So you could DM me to know more details about the workshops as well. So I am just watching my machine cut at the moment, and once it's done cutting, you could see on the screen that it will pop an unload button, and then as soon as it pops up that unload, you press that and it will just let go of your machine. So once it's unloaded, you could see the cut on the back side, right? So at the moment you could see the faint cuts on the back side of your material. So I'm just moving my machine aside and I'm taking my weeding tool to weed out the design. So this sharp weeding tool is used to weed out the design that we have already cut. The same tool works for the normal adhesive vinyl as well. So even for iron-on vinyl, you'll use the same weeding tool to take out the excess material from the cutout design. So I'm just taking a reference and a peek at my actual design before I go and weed it out, so that I know whichever parts that I'm weeding is the unwanted parts and not the parts that I actually need. So just make sure that you are weeding slowly and patiently, so that you are not removing the unwanted parts, right? So this is my crafting shirt code that I found on Design Space, as you could see already on the initial screens. So I am just taking my time to weed out the inside parts of all the loops, all the R's, all the A's and stuff. So just take your time, be patient in removing all of this. As you could see, I'm just taking a second to look at the design properly, so that I know I'm removing only the unwanted parts. So this is when you're doing it on a black color vinyl, it just it gets a bit difficult to have a good visual representation of what is not needed. So once I'm done with that, I'm removing the backing, that is the clear sheet and the vinyl from the mat itself. And once I'm done with that, I'm going into Cricut Design Space again and clicking on the heat guide. So this heat guide is a helping tool which will let me know how much pressure and how much long that I have to press this iron-on my material. So I'm selecting the smart iron-on that I've used, and I'm also selecting the 100% cotton, that is the fabric of the t-shirt. So you could see that it gave me temperature and the time with which I have to press and all the instructions to follow. So always go into your Cricut Design Space software itself, and it will prompt you to do the correct setting accordingly. So I am going to keep it in medium for 25 seconds to press on the material. So initially I'm just taking my vinyl and making sure that I've aligned my design properly to the center, and I'm just placing it on the center. I'm just making sure that I know where the vinyl is going to go. So just as a reminder, so I don't have a guide or anything to place the vinyl. I'm just using a visual representation to take a note. So in the iron-on, I'm just pressing it 2 times to go into the medium setting. So there are 3 settings in the Cricut Easy Press, that is low, medium and high. So if you press twice, it will be in the medium setting. Once it's turned green from orange, I'll be able to use the Easy Press Mini. So I'm just ironing it on, preheating my surface, that is the cotton t-shirt that I'm using, and then I'm placing my design. And once I'm done satisfied with the placement of my design, I'm just taking my iron-on vinyl and I am just going over the design with firm pressure for 25 seconds. Just make sure that you are going over it for 25 seconds on the dot on each and every surface. So it will take a bit longer depending on the fabric you're using or the iron you're using. So this is the Cricut Easy Press Mini that I'm using, and with this setting I'm done pressing the details. So I'm just going to iron on in the back side as well. Use the iron on the back side and as well as inside of the t-shirt, so that the vinyl gets adhered properly as per the instructions given on the Cricut Design Space heat guide, right? So it initially told us to press in the front for 25 seconds and then press in the back for 5 seconds as well. So I'm doing it both on the back of the t-shirt as well as inside of the t-shirt, right behind the design as well. So this will make sure that my iron on is pressed well to my iron t-shirt. So once that is done, I have to let it cool down to the room temperature. So you cannot directly peel off. This is a cold peel, so I have to touch and see if it is cold to touch, and then only I can start removing the design gently. So once I am removing the design gently, you could see that the design has transferred well to my t-shirt as well. And now our t-shirt is ready. And if you have any questions, do let me know in the comment section below. Always let 24 hours pass by before you wash your t-shirts. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more.